giving you a voice.
Making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
We need your help to keep fun loud, live, and independent. For just $1, you can be our boss at patreon.com/funfrc. Pledge your support in September and you'll be eligible to win a Cooler Master MS-120 keyboard and mouse set.
So I think we're going to kind of move into our final little segment here, I guess, if we're talking about Chezy Champs versus IRI. We are going to take a look back a few years and take a vote to which winning alliance you think would have won in a head-to-head matchup. So we're taking the IRI winner and the Chezy Champs winner, and we are going to kind of round robin and talk about who we think would win. We were talking about this pre-show, but I think Pat and I both agree we're going to be the worst at this because as soon as the season is over, it sort of disappears. But you guys are going to vote too. You guys are going to post in chat, fight it out. Please be gracious. That basically we're going to take each year's Chezy Champs and IRI winner. We're only going to talk about the 3 robots that played in the finals. And then we're going to see what we think and what you guys in the chat think as far as who would have won. So let's go all the way back to 2014 and we'll see what we can remember. For IRI, you had the number 2 alliance, which was 2056, 469, and 1625 versus Chezy Champs' number 1 alliance, 1678, 254, and somehow 973. So Pat, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So, I mean, this one's a little bit obvious because, 254 was on the alliance that got beat by that IRI alliance. I think you guys did a fun analysis of it last week or so. And like that team had the death cycles going, that alliance with 2056 and 1625. It was really amazing to watch. And we did not have 3 robots, I think, that were trying to do that or capable of doing that at Chezy Champs. So I think definitely the IRI would take that one.
Yeah, I don't know about definitely. I guess, so it depends on how inbounding rules would be called at both events, because IRI was allowing the ridiculous touch passes, and I don't remember what Chezy was doing, but I kind of, yeah, like those death cycles were really impressive, but 254 I thought was by far the best finisher in the 2014 season, and I thought 1678 was the best trusser in that season. So, and you also have 254's human player who was ridiculous, and so I could go either way, but I think I would actually go. 254 was unstoppable in the regular season that year, and so I think them in full gear. I'm going to go with the Chezy Champs alliance.
I think, again, we talked about, historical knowledge kind of going away sometimes, but I think I might go with Chezy as well. I agree that out of 2014, remembering who really felt unstoppable, that's a really good way of putting it, Karthik. I think I'm going to go with Chezy Champs. So that's 1 for IRI, 2 for Chezy Champs. At least for the hosts, Chezy wins 2014, but let's see what chat thinks as well. For 2015, IRI's alliance, again, the number 2 alliance winning, 2056, 1023, and 1806. Chezy Champs was also the number 2 alliance. Apparently that's a really lucky spot to be in a competitive off seasons. 3476, 971, and 968. Pat?
So we had very different rules at Chezy Champs that year. I don't remember exactly what they were, but we had something like 13 rule changes. Most of them to just, we got rid of the noodles, we got rid of the shoot doors. I don't remember what else, but
didn't you?
This one would be really hard to call.
Did you play head to head as well?
We did play head to head. That's right. Yeah, there was so much stuff we changed. So it'd be very difficult to say. If you look at the match at the end of that finals match, there are just so many stacks on the field. So I think the alliance that won was really capable of putting up stacks, and they had 3 good robots. I don't really remember what the IRI robots looked like that year, even 2056. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Chezy Champs on this one. Or with the caveat that let's say we were playing with the Chezy Champs rules, I'd go with the Chezy Champs alliance.
I'm going to go IRI on this one. So 971 had the fastest cam burglars out of those 6 teams. So that's going to, they're going to, I'm just kind of visualizing this being played by the normal rules because those are the ones I remember. So I would give them the advantage on 2 of the cans, but then, yeah, 1806 is significantly better than 968 that year. And so that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the depth of IRI versus Chezy Champs. And so I think that they would max out their stacks. 2050, like they can, yeah, the landfill would be empty. They get everything from the human player. I just think that 2015 IRI alliance is like the alliances they knocked off. They knocked off 118 and Wave, who had 1640 as their third bot. They knocked off 1730, who was fabulous that year, especially at IRI with 1114 and 3641. Like, I'm going Chezy Champs. I'm going to IRI 2015.
Yeah, I also only remember the 2015 rules that were kind of the regular ones. I think I'm going to go IRI here as well, because that was the last IRI I went to, and I remember watching those and being pretty impressed. Nothing against Chezy Champs teams, just the way I'm going. Chat, we're waiting for you guys to weigh in on 2015 as well. It seemed like Chezy was getting some love for the 2014 matches. So while chat decides on 2015, we're going to move on to 2016. IRI's winning alliance was 2056. Wow, there's a pattern here. IRI's winning alliance was 2056, 118, and 33 versus 971, 1678, 604 at Chezy Champs. Okay, so IRI definitely winning in chat for 2015. So 2016, again, that's from IRI, we've got 2056, 118, and 33. Chezy Champs, we've got 971, 1678, and 604. What do you guys think?
I remember I don't remember the IRI robots too well. I remember the Chezy Champs robots quite well. 971 had that really sick thing that would just unfold and shoot a ball in, and 1678 had the more chunky single pivot arm with an extension on it. And they were both really good teams. I think I'm going to go with Chezy Champs on this one.
For me, this is like my most solid IRI one. So in the lead up to the finals at IRI. So IRI that year was 2056, 118, and 33. And on the other side of the bracket was 1114, 195, and 225. And the 1114, 195, 225 alliance kept setting high scores like through the semis. And so it looked like they were just going to kind of steamroll. And then in the finals, 33 went from playing offense to playing defense, and they just like mangled that alliance. And it was like 2056 and 118 were so good on offense that they could just allow their third bot to play defense. And I think that's would be the case here. And I think that 33 could have really messed up the game of 971 and 1678 because I don't think they were spreading the field as well as they needed to do that. So, and that 2056, 118, 33 alliance, when they were firing on all cylinders, it was like, I thought that was the pinnacle of whatever that stupid dirty medieval castle game was. So yeah, that's my vote.
You gotta love, by the way, when 33 is the third robot of an alliance.
Right, exactly. You see what I mean? Like, and again, like, no shade at 604. They're a really solid team, but 33 is your third bot. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think this is one of those places where, as we've discussed, sort of the depth of IRI gives it a little bit of an advantage. I was going to go with IRI as well, and it seems like chat is also pretty excited about 2016 being the IRI win. We've got 2016 IRI wins 100%. Everyone is very excited. So again, we're taking the three robots that played in the finals and comparing them. I know some chat saying, what about this robot? We're just taking the ones that played in the finals. So our last comparison, 2017 IRI. Obviously, we only have one result for 2018 so far. So IRI's winner were the number 3 alliance at 1619, 195, and 2590. Chezy Champs was the number 1 alliance as well, but that was 254, 1011, and 696. Pat, you get to go first. That's the order we're going in.
Yeah, so this is another instance where I don't really remember the teams from IRI at all, but it's less important in this case. Those teams at Chezy Champs were not that great. If I had to like rank Team 254's championship wins, I would say 2017 was the one where we won with the worst robot. We kind of named it ironically as Misfire so that we had an out if it ended up being really bad. And we referred to it a lot as a well-polished turd because it did not do very well earlier in the season. So I'm going to go with IRA on this one, even not knowing really much about the teams.
Yeah, thinking back to one of the things I was looking at again when I was doing the comparisons, I was like best robot at each event, and I thought even on your alliance at Champs, I thought 2767 was the better robot, and they were actually at IRI and somehow lost to with 118 to 1619 195, which is how good that alliance was. Again, 2590 is the third bot. I mean, like, it's just kind of crazy. So IRI alliance, that alliance played super well, strategically smart, lot of shooting, to make that up for the extra points past 4 rotors. So IRI number 3 by far.
Seems like we're pretty unanimous for IRI in 2017. Chat as well, kind of spamming for IRI for the 2017. So again, I think no shade to any of the teams that are playing. We all agree on that. Just for funsies, we're trying to see, who would win going head to head. Obviously, we've talked about kind of the depth of IRI. Important question for our chat here. Obviously, we don't know who's going to win Chezy Champs, but what are you thinking? You thinking Chezy Champs is going to bring it back, or do we think IRI continues its kind of tradition of being the more deep event?
Who won IRI this year? 2056 and 195. And
2168 and 340 as well.
Okay. I mean, if 254 was taking taking Chezy Champ seriously, then my vote would be on 254. So like, this is for a hypothetical matchup. So like, I'm going to say they're taking it seriously, and I would think they would win.
Let's assume this. Who, if just looking on paper or just looking at the robots straight up, what would be, you think, like, give me 3 teams that might make it to the finals at Chezy Champs for an alliance, possibly?
Definitely 1323, 1678.
But you can't have all 3. You can't have 254, 1678, and 1323.
I don't. 973 when it's a third robot like 3 years ago. So
is RC going to be sandbagging? Like, I mean, I guess you could say 254, 1323, and then 973, just for like, tradition or whatever. I mean, I think that if 254 and 1323 got together on the same alliance, I thought 1323 might have been, especially after watching Einstein, the second best robot at Houston Champs, maybe. Like, I think that's a possibility, Pat.
They were, we would have loved to play with them.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
They were super underrated. So, like, if we're going to play this, like, fantasy alliance situation here, and you get 254 and 1323 together, I think that might, like, the ultimate pairing for the season would be 254 and 195, but I think 254 and 1323 is close to that. That swerve drive just, so good.
I got to ask a question. Pat, I don't know, you played against him in finals, but did you have much of a chance to look at 2910 Jack in the Bot at all?
I don't remember them very well, but they will be there. We're pretty excited about that.
I forgot how cool Jack in the Bot was. Like, that was like a revelation watching the champ stream, because I knew nothing about them. When you go to events every weekend, you don't get to watch as many events, and like, I just was not in tune with what was going on. And I saw this robot, I was like, oh my God, this robot's so cool. So I'm still a sucker for a good swerve drive.
Thank you to all of our co-executive producers, keeping fun loud, live, and independent. Pledge your support. Go to patreon.com/funfrc.